Hello and welcome to beautiful Newmarket, Virginia. I'm Andrew Kipps, joined by Jack Herbert and Brandon Whitaker to bring you this Valley Baseball League matchup between the visiting Woodstock River Bandits and the homestanding Newmarket Rebels. I'm going to kick it over to Jack for the starting lineup for the Woodstock River Bandits.
Excited for this one. Thought we may not get it in for a minute, but baseball tonight either way. Here's the starting lineup for the visiting Woodstock River Bandits. Leading off is Kamari Chisholm Jr. playing center field. He's followed by number 8, Asher Bates playing second. Followed by Austin Ford playing third. He's number 14. Batting cleanup is Lucas Bottolato, the right fielder, number 21. Number 7, Connor Worth follows him, shortstop. Abdriel Delgado, the first baseman, follows Worth. Giovanni Hernandez in left field follows Delgado. Herringer, the catcher, bats in the 8th spot tonight. And JT Androsky, the designated hitter, will close things out for the River Bandits. And on the mound tonight for Woodstock is number 29, Casey Proctor.
And real quick, the starting lineup for the Newmarket Rebels. Leading off playing second base, Jonathan Mallow. Batting second, the shortstop, Maddox Land. In center field, batting third, Mario Magana Jr. Playing right field, number 25, Joe Terranova. Batting fifth and first base tonight, Jaden Harriel. Batting sixth. First pitch of the game popped up on the infield to Harriel. He's got it. Dylan Murphy, batting sixth and catching. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Matt Murphy, no relation. Batting eighth, playing third base, Tyler Martin. Batting ninth, playing left field tonight, Zach Banks. And on the mound for the Rebels, out of St. John's River, Gabe Barker.
And that's a good first pitch from Barker. He jams Chisholm Jr. on the inside, pops it up for an easy out.
Barker got the start against the River Bandits on opening night of this Valley Baseball League season. One-0 pitch is a curve that misses down and in. It is Parents Weekend here at Rebel Park. Be here tonight and Sunday night, weather permitting. Tomorrow on the road at Strasburg. Ground ball up the middle, just past Mallow and into right center field. Terranova's got it, and he'll fire it in.
And Andrew, we're going to see a lot of that tonight. The dirt is wet. That makes the round a lot quicker. The ball is going to be rolling a lot faster than it would on dry dirt. And we see it there as it just skips past Mallow for an easy base hit.
Absolutely. Very rainy afternoon here in Newmarket. Kind of a sustained soaking rain. Sure you can tell there's some puddles out there along the warning track. Playing surface is in pretty good shape, but definitely on the damp side.
Mound needed a little bit of work. They were working on that for, say, probably an hour, maybe hour, 30 minutes, and got it looking nice and ready to go.
First pitch to Austin Ford was outside for a ball. That one's lined back up the middle. It's going to get into center field for a clean single. Hard hit, low liner.
Well, that one had nothing to do with the dirt. That was great contact. No chance for Land. That didn't even touch down. The dirt looked to touch down the inches into the outfield. Easy base hit.
Brings up Lucas Bottolato, cleanup hitter. Takes a curve for a called strike. Not a real big
Nice
crowd.
opening pitch there.
Not a real big crowd tonight so far. A little bit of a delayed start and a rainy day. See if it fills in a bit as the game progresses. 1-1 on Bottolato. Barker's a tall left-handed pitcher working out of the stretch. Hard hit ground ball through the hole into left field. They're going to send him. The throw in from Banks is going to be attempted to cut it off. Took a weird hop past the cutoff man Martin, and that is going to allow both runners to advance 90 feet. So it'll be an RBI single for Battleado.
Definitely not the start that you're looking for if you're Newmarket. You've had Woodstock's number pretty much all season, and they jump out to an early lead here. Barker's got to refocus in.
So an error will be charged to left fielder Zach Banks on the throw that got away from the infielders. Ground ball to land at shortstop. Going to drive in a run. He's got it. Throws it across in time to get Connor Worth. Action is coming at us hot and heavy here in the top of the first. Ford scores. Battleado moves up to third. RBI for Worth on the ground out, and that'll bring up Abdriel Delgado. Ball gets past the catcher. Looks like they would have had a chance for a play, but the pitcher Barker a little bit slow hovering. So the River Bandits quickly put a 3-spot up in the top half of the first inning. A couple defensive miscues helped them out. That one's lined off the face of the Rebels dugout with a loud clang.
And Andrew, this is eerily similar to the Front Royal game where the runs came in bunches very, very quick. It was like a tsunami, I described it. They definitely want to close it out here with 2 gone.
Plus side for tonight's game happening in the first inning, so you got 9 innings to fight back. The big inning for Front Royal was in the 6th, I believe, where they put up 11 on the Rebels. 2-1, lined into right field. That's going to be down for a hit. Terranova over to try to cut it off. Delgado is going to stay put at first with a single. That was kind of a soft liner, but carried decently.
And if you're Woodstock, this is exactly the start that you're looking for. Get in the pitcher's head early, get some runs on the board. Make it an uphill battle for the Rebels, who have the better standing and but better hitters.
Newmarket comes into tonight 11 wins, 9 losses, good for second place in the North Division. Woodstock 6-14, currently in last place. First pitch to Giovanni Hernandez is a called strike. And that one's lined into right field. Terranova knocks it down and fires it in, but the hit parade continues for the River Bandits.
Terranova was lucky to stop that one. That could have gone right through his legs, but looked like it bounced off his glove a little bit, and he's able to stop it and thankfully hold a run. Hold Delgado from getting to third.
That's going to get a visit from pitching coach Mark Davis. Jackson Harriger, next batter for the River Bandits as soon as this mound visit wraps up.
This is less than ideal for Newmarket getting charged with a mound visit this early.
First pitch to Harriger, fouled off. If you're not familiar with Rebel Park, home dugout is on the third base side, River Bandits dugout on the first base side. Directly behind that dugout, a row of backyards. Swing and a miss. 0-2. So oftentimes foul balls on the right side end up out of play and in a neighbor's yard. And then left side is all parking, and we call it the left field lounge out behind the left field wall. That one's hit hard, but flagged down by Martin, and he steps on the bag. Fielder's choice for Harriger. Delgado out 5 unassisted. Three runs on 5 hits, 1 Newmarket error, 2 runners left on base. Jonathan Mallow will lead things off for the Rebels in the bottom half of the first inning on the other side of this break. Jonathan Mallow gonna lead it off for the Rebels. 3rd year in Newmarket, and he's gotten better each year.
And Andrew, this is his 8th straight start for the Rebels. Very comfortable in this starting role.
Rebels had a very competitive infield this season, and Mallow has kind of decisively won a starting spot as the season went on. One of the, if not the best hitting second baseman in the league. This time he goes down on 3 pitches.
And how about that start from Proctor? Gets Mallow chasing upstairs on that pitch.
Maddox Land, next man up. No, his parents are here tonight. Met them down in the pavilion before the game, and he's going to reward that trip from Florida with a solid single through the left side. So Land is on with 1 out, bottom of the first, and the dangerous Mario Magana.
Interested to see. Looks like he's stepping into the righty batter box, but such a lethal hitter in both sides.
Perhaps looking for his first right-handed home run. I think they've all been left-handed so far this year, but he has hit some long ones. Hasn't got a lot of right-handed at-bats, not a lot of lefty pitchers for opposing teams. Land aggressive lead at first, especially with the left-handed pitcher. Ground ball to first, steps on the bag, throw to second. Ghana's going to go down 3 unassisted. Land moves up 90 feet. He's in scoring position for Joe Terranova.
Right fielder from Southeast Missouri State. Go.
And if you're Land on second, you just got to be sweating. You got to wipe off the sweat there as he goes over the bag and almost gets tagged. Luckily, he gets back in time.
Had to do a little belly flop back to the bag. Terranova fouls the first pitch off. As expected, a bit of a smaller crowd in the stream tonight. Land takes off for third. Throw is offline. So stolen base for Land. Doing his best to work his way around the bases. Expect the audience is dominated by River Bandits fans, so welcome to Newmarket. Let us know in the YouTube chat where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, whether that is a team or a player. Up and away for ball 1.
And that throw down from Herringer over to Ford, trying to grab Land on that steal of third. Wasn't in time anyway, and a good job by Ford to grab it.
Here's a trivia question, and I don't know the answer. What do you think has the longest combined commute for the season? Joe Terranova from Arizona, or you driving back to Richmond for every game? You combine the drive times, I bet it's close.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That one's popped up on the infield. Second baseman Bates has it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 1 here in Newmarket, it's River Bandits 3, Rebels nothing. We're back. Gabe Barker back on the mound for the Rebels. We do indeed have some Bandits fans in the chat. And Jansen Kenty's family joining in, even though he pitched last night. So thanks for joining us. Jansen had an excellent start for the Rebels last night. It was 6 scoreless innings in Winchester.
And Andrew, I'm excited to see how Barker can kind of refocus, recollect himself after that rough first inning. See if he can focus in here, maybe blank the River Bandits this inning.
I think the Kenty family may be waiting on the edge of their seats. The All-Star announcement's coming soon. Jansen has a solid chance of getting on to the All-Valley League team to go and play the Cal Ripken League in about a week and a half.
Well, how deserved, how deserving. He has been incredible for Newmarket this season.
Obviously, that team has not been announced, but I think there's a strong chance that Kenty will be a Newmarket representative. I think that announcement's going to come out on Monday or Tuesday next week. Stay tuned. Chopper to Mallow at second. Softly hit. Going to have to get it over there in a hurry. He does. 4-3 is the putout. That'll bring up Kamari Chisholm Jr.
Kamari Chisholm Jr. had that pop out to first in the first inning, looking to kind of get some more contact and not get jammed yet again.
Ground ball to Harriel at first. He's got it. And nice and easy steps on first base for the 3 unassisted. Much better start to the inning for Barker here as he's gotten the first 2 River Bandits.
And Chisholm's probably going to be frustrated with himself yet again, sending it over to first.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Asher Bates. And that one actually hits him in the, looks like the calf of his right leg, just kind of grazed the back of his leg. Got enough of him that it hurt though.
Calf, one of the lower tier ratings, I'd say, where you'd want to get hit by a baseball. Definitely don't want to get hit in the knee or the calf. That's not going to feel too good.
Definitely not as much cushion as a little bit higher up. So Bates is aboard over at first for Austin Ford. Runner going, pitch is fouled off.
No hesitation there from Bates. He was off in a hurry towards second. Really been no question that he would have stolen it if not for the foul ball.
2 outs, a good time to run, put yourself in scoring position. Oh, 1 to Ford, swung on and missed. Runner going again. 0-2 is in the dirt. Going to be an easy stolen base for Bates. Rebels have struggled to control the running game early in the year here, the first half. I think that's something that's kind of consciously being worked on by pitchers because a lot of it has been on that side more so than catchers.
And Andrew, I'm really surprised to see Bates take off there. He had a very, very small, very conservative lead. Almost looked like he fooled Barker and took off to second. There's no question.
Fouled off. Picked a good pitch to run on as he got a breaking ball in the dirt. I know that's something that the Rebels coaches pay attention to and try to run on breaking ball counts. Gotten to pick first base coach Ty Martin's brain on that subject a couple times. Barker steps off. Hard hit liner into center field. It's going to be down for a hit. Pagana's got it. He's going to fire it in, but it's not going to be in time to stop Bates from scoring. Single and an RBI for Austin Ford. And he's aboard for Lucas Battalato.
And that's why you take second right there. You get into scoring position and open up the door for a shot like that. Nice hit by Ford, and now 4-0 Woodstock.
Excellent start for the River Bandits. Got an impromptu poll going in the chat. Who's going to win this game? Called strike. Even as a Rebels announcer, got to admit the win probability is probably in the River Bandits' favor right now, but if I know one thing about Valley League Baseball, you're going to see some high-scoring games. Mallow with a nice backhanded play up the middle, throws it all the way across to Harriel at first for the 4-3 putout. Put a star beside that one in your scorebook. Tougher play than it looked like. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner left for the River Bandits. Jaden Harriel going to lead it off for the Rebels on the other side. Jaden Harriel leading off for the Rebels in the bottom half of the second. Takes a ball. Jack, in the break, you brought up an interesting point. Care to share that with the rest of us?
Well, the dirt is, excuse me, let's.
That one's lifted into left. Caught by Hernandez on the backhand.
Well, Andrew, the dirt is really wet, obviously, because we had the rain pregame that caused the delay. I was really kind of dead set thinking that we weren't going to see really any steals, and only maybe 1 or 2 all game, all 9 innings. But we already have four steals in 2 innings, and it's incredible to me. Really surprised to see that.
Yeah, River Bandits not being slowed down or Maddox Land by the slow track, so to speak.
And there really is a huge difference between dry dirt and wet dirt when you're trying to slide. It's a completely different terrain.
We were at the Kentucky Derby. The track conditions would definitely be rated as slow for the bettors. Or maybe I should have said the Virginia Derby. Qualifying race for the Kentucky Derby that takes place in Richmond every year.
All my years in Richmond, I never knew that. And my mom used to ride horses, so she's probably going to be pretty upset with me when I get home that I didn't know that.
Called strike 2. I went to that race this year and I realized one thing. Horse racing is not my thing, but it was a cool experience for a one-time thing.
Certainly not for everyone.
That one misses outside to Rebel catcher Dylan Murphy, and the count is full. At Murphy waiting on deck.
How often do you see that? Murphy followed by Murphy. No relation either.
Ball 4. Dylan Murphy, second Rebel base runner of the night.
Perhaps designated hitter from Golden Peak University. Number 28. Murphy.
Swing and a miss. Off speed pitch had him fooled.
By fooled, I think you mean completely lost. Wow, he spun all the way around. Full 180 on that one.
Way out in front. 0-1. In the dirt. Nice job blocking that one by Harger behind the plate. Also saw Matt Murphy's parents before the game. They're in Newmarket for the weekend. Had a nice conversation with his mom. Swing and a miss. Little picnic before the game for Rebel staff and then visiting parents and host families. Wasn't a huge crowd, but got to meet a few folks. Expect we'll see more. Swing and a miss, fooled again. Murphy's the second out of the inning. Some more parents roll in as the weekend progresses here. Perhaps even staying through next week with the 4th of July holiday coming up.
Tyler Martin.
And if you're Murphy there, you just want to scratch that one away from your memory because Proctor has your number on that one. 3 straight, I believe, off-speed pitches that just get him going all the way around.
Yeah, once you get the first bad swing, I think it's easy for the pitcher to just go right back to it. Tyler Martin, lefty batter, is the next man up, and he has swung and missed. He's behind 0-2. Getting his second start of the week.
That has been one of the biggest challenges for me, going against Ty Martin and Tyler Martin. Ty is the coach, Tyler is the player.
Father-son duo. Fouled off. I obviously was struggling with that a little bit myself.
Interested in seeing Dylan Murphy on first. He's got 3 stolen bases this season. I don't think we'll see him take off here if he's only got 3 and with the conditions of the dirt.
Foul ball just past his dad over in the first base coaching box.
Then again, I said that we wouldn't see any steals really this game, and we've already seen multiple, so anything can happen.
Didn't see any signs of a steal there. He is leaning now. Goes back. Swing and a miss on a slider well off the plate. Martin goes down swinging to end the Newmarket half of the second inning. Score will remain River Bandits 4, Rebels nothing. Gabe Barker back on the mound for the third. Just a moment. Connor Worth takes a called strike on a nice curveball. First pitch of the inning. Second pitch, also a called strike. Very nice compliment in the chat from the Kinty family. Thank you. We do our best to help you all stay connected to your kids when they're traveling away from you for the summer, and that's kind of a priority for us here in Newmarket to do the best we can with that. A little bit limited in our park as far as we'd love to have a center field camera or a roving camera, but who knows? Come back next year. Maybe we'll have something a little bit extra for you, but thanks for joining us on the broadcast as always, and for trusting us with your son for the summer. Fouled off. 0-2 on Connor Worth.
Solid start for Barker this inning.
Seems to have settled in a little bit after a rocky first.
Kind of climbing down the ladder a little bit.
Check swing. No swing. Perhaps a good thing for the Rebels as the ball kicked away from Dylan Murphy. Worth would have had a good chance of reaching on the wild pitch.
Got a mini swamp near the River Bandits dugout. Basically, the walkout area is just complete gravel mud. Don't even know how to describe it.
That one missed just inside. 2-2 on Worth. Starting to be a little bit of movement down in the Rebel bullpen. Swing, foul tip. Nice catch by Murphy behind the plate for strike 3. Bring up Abdiel Delgado. It's a fun name to say. Ground ball up the middle, lands ranging all the way to the other side of second base, has it, throws it across. 6-3 is the put-out. Thought that one was going to be trouble off the bat.
Yeah, pretty much in the same exact spot where he hit it in the first inning. He had that nice line drive to center. Looked to repeat history there on the fast dirt, but faster to it was land.
Yeah, got all the way to the first base side of second base to field that one. Don't see that a whole lot in the Valley League. You're not going to get a lot of shifts or anything that puts them over close to the bag. Not enough data on the spray charts for the batters.
And if you're land, I'd definitely throw that on my highlight reel. It's not a a superstar top 10 ESPN play, but it's a grimy play that showcases that you know how to move around the diamond and love a ball.
That one's hit into center field. Should hold up for Magana. He's got it on the run, and it is a 1-2-3. Top half of the third inning for Gabe Barker, who has settled in nicely. Zach Banks going to lead it off for the Rebels in the bottom half on the other side of this break. Zach Banks going to lead it off for the Rebels out of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical Institute or University in Florida. Fouled off. Zach batting in the 9-hole today, but would be an excellent man to get on to start an inning with good speed.
And his first at-bat tonight in the bottom of the third. Typically a good sign for the visiting team if the home team's 9 spot is batting for the first time in the game in the third inning.
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of games lately, the leadoff man has been getting their second at-bat in the second inning, so 0-2 on Banks. Breaking ball outside. Proctor doing a nice job for the River Bandits. 1 hit through the first 2 innings. Has drawn some nice swing and miss. There's another swing and a miss. Banks goes down swinging.
Yeah, Proctor's looking solid, especially in that second inning. Did a great job dealing with Murphy and Martin. He kickstarts the bottom of the third very well against Banks. Got to deal with the leadoff man here, however.
4th strikeout of the night. Jonathan Mallow gets his second chance, see if he can adjust. Chases a high one. He's behind 0-1. Very similar to the pitch he struck out on in the first. Lifted, that's going to be fouled on the third baseline. Thought that was going to be in for a hit. Couldn't have been too far foul, but that is just out of view for us in the press box. The left field line slightly obscured for me and a little bit more obscured for Jack based on our positioning up here.
Almost leaning into your computer, Andrew, trying to get a look at that one.
You'd be surprised how many computers it takes to make a baseball game run in the Valley League. Got 4 fired up tonight. 0-2 to Mallow, fouled back. Just to our left and off of what they call the Ag Building here at Rebel Park. That goes way back to when this was the site of Newmarket School. And I believe the Ag Department was in that building. Called strike 3. 5th strikeout for Proctor. 2nd strikeout of the night for Mallow.
From Pensacola State College. Woodstock, number 12.
2 straight innings with 2 straight strikeouts for Proctor. Looking great out there for the River Bandits.
Maddox Land now up with 2 outs, nobody on base. First pitch outside for a ball. That one's hit fairly deep down the right field line. Battleado's going to have room. He's got it right on the foul line for the 3rd out of the inning.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, no runs, no hits.
Rebels go down 1-2-3 in the 3rd. Jackson Harriger going to lead it off for the River Bandits against Gabe Barker in the top half of the 4th on the other side of this break. Here's Jackson Harriger, tall right-handed hitter. Continues to be some movement in the Newmarket bullpen, but more like loosening up, not really throwing yet. Ground ball just foul down the third baseline. This is down and away. We were talking in between innings. Seems a little bit flat in the Rebel dugout after a rough game, rough little stretch here. I think they need something exciting to happen to kind of re-energize this team. Hard hit ground ball past it diving Martin at third into left field for a hit. I think it's one of those moments where if you're a coach, maybe you even think about getting tossed, doing something just to get some oomph. But I think anybody that's familiar with baseball knows it's a streaky sport.
And Harriger picks that same exact spot near third. He hit into a fielder's choice to put a bookend on that first inning that was good for Woodstock, but he goes again.
Bunt to Martin at third. Bare hands, throws it across in time. Nice play by Martin at third base.
Number 3. Chisholm.
Brings up Kamari Chisholm Jr. Gotta think Andrioski was looking for a hit there more so than the sacrifice, but added benefit of getting the sacrifice if it doesn't work out. First pitch to Chisholm was a ball, and a wild pitch allows Harriger to advance to third.
And Andrew, we saw Murphy struggling during the break, let a ball get right past him, and then he kind of bounced it over to second on the final throw, and then bobbling some balls early in this game. Got to keep an eye on that as the game progresses.
Another one missed for a ball, 2-0. Keep an eye on the Rebel bullpen here. 4-run lead for the River Bandits, certainly not out of reach just yet, so you would expect if Parker gets into too much trouble to see a move to the pen. Ball 4, 4-pitch walk.
Starting to see a little bit more motion. Doesn't really look like just staying loose anymore in the bullpen.
Perhaps we've been wanting a little excitement in the booth, and I must say, if we go to the man that started to warm up in the bullpen, that'll be a little bit exciting for the Rebel fans here. It is right-handed pitcher Eric Peralta out of the University of Miami. You want to see some fastballs, he's the guy you want to come into this game.
And I'd say leave Barker out there, maybe just for a couple more pitches, just see what he's, see if he can refocus in. And
I think he's certainly got another batter or two. Peralta just now starting to throw. That one's hit pretty deep down the right field line, but foul. Peralta, one of the Rebels pitchers that's been in a pattern of start a game, 1 inning in relief, start a game, 1 inning in relief. So probably would be a short appearance, but runner going, no throw. Pitch misses inside. Don't think Murphy had any chance to throw out Chisholm on that one.
And that's a lose-lose, no throw attempt, and it's a ball, and he held it there, trying to get an appeal from the home plate umpire, but no.
Swing and a miss. Rebels playing in at the corners, halfway in, up the middle. Give those middle infielders the option of going home or to first, depending on how they have to field the ball.
And we're seeing Bates be really late on these pitches. He hit that nice shot in the first over to right field, and he just fouled one off over there as well.
That one misses inside, 2-2. Breaking ball inside for ball 3.
And that was really close. I thought that clipped him. I heard something, but it was the ball bouncing off the dirt, I believe.
Chopped foul.
It would have been Bates' second time he's been hit by a pitch tonight. First one coming in the top of the second.
Ground ball to first. Harriel's got it on the short hop. He is able to tag out the runner and hold the runner at third simultaneously. 3 unassisted. Nice play by Harriel on a kind of a tricky hop.
And Harriel kind of picked that one up and was waiting there on the line for Bates to run down. Really nothing that he can do except run into the waiting glove of Harriel. And Bates was late on that pitch as well.
Austin Ford, next man in the box for the Bandits. Fouls the first pitch off.
Got an intense race going on after that foul ball. Like the kid in the white shirt will win it.
Many a Rebel fan has been formed chasing foul balls here at Rebel Park, including yours truly. I have very early childhood memories of chasing balls in the rough and tumble parking lot scene here at Rebel Park. I say that jokingly. It was a little rougher back in my day.
Now here's a question for you, Andrew. How many foul balls do you think you caught in your childhood?
Caught, probably none. Retrieved, easily over 100.
Wow. Busy man.
Rebel Park has changed a lot over the years, as was just pointed out by our public address announcer. Called strike 3, Barker gets out of it. We'll tell you more about the history of Rebel Park on the other side of this break. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. Mario Magana Jr. leading off for the Rebels in the bottom of the 4th.
Coming to the top of the 4th.
Mario Magana leading off for the Rebels. First pitch hits him. He's going to head on down to first base, leadoff man on for the Rebels. We were talking a little bit about what Rebel Park used to be like. More observable from our cameras, the outfield used to be basically woods behind the fence with about, I would say, 40-foot tall trees that caused some controversy at times as balls could hit limbs and come back into play. Those were all cut down 5 or 10 years ago now, and now it's just basically a farm field out there behind the fence. First pitch to Joe Terranova misses for a ball, and directly behind home plate you have the reserve seating section, and then behind that the Valley Baseball League Hall of Fame, which is a nice bulletin board kind of style case. Terranova throws his bat. And then behind the Hall of Fame, there is now a nicely fenced gravel lot. But back in my day, it was like a junkyard. And it was fair game for foul balls in the junkyard. So I can remember at least once climbing into an abandoned vehicle to retrieve a foul ball as a little kid. And more than one occasion wrestling for a ball that kind of got there at the same time.
Throw all tetanus to the wind. No worries about that. Just all caution.
These days, all foul balls yours to keep at Rebel Park. Back then, you could trade it in for a pack of trading cards.
What to do when you get one of those?
I'll tell you, I have a whole lot of like 1998 Fleer Nolan Ryan cards from that. Probably worth about 5 cents because there was a million of them printed. Runner going, line drive into left. Runner's going to have to retreat. Strong throw, not in time. Terranova hit that one hard. Line drive to Hernandez and left. River Bandits made a valiant effort to get it all the way back across. Was Magana was past second base.
Wow, very fortunate for Magana there as he scurries back to first, and Bates sends that one just high, but that looked like that would have gotten him if it was a little bit lower.
Jaden Harriel in the box now. Magana over at first. He's got great speed, so we'll see if he decides to run at any point here. Should say he's got great top line speed. It doesn't seem like he likes to steal bases too much. It takes him a couple steps to get up to speed. He has a video on his Instagram running a 6'1", 60-yard dash, which is elite speed, but again, that's a bit of a longer distance.
Yeah, only 2 stolen bases on the season for Magana. Not much of a stealer, but he certainly has the legs.
He's one, like, once he gets going, trying to, like, score from first on a double or something, he gets quite fast.
All right, showcasing his ability to scramble back there. Multiple pickoff attempts from Proctor. We didn't like the fact that he was able to get back to first on the tag up.
Fouled out of play over the River Bandits dugout. Blair down the first base line, fair, just over the first baseman's head and into right field. Magana is going to make it all the way across the third. He is in standing with, despite a strong throw from Baldolado. Harry will put that one in just the right place as it landed almost directly on the foul line, just over the infield dirt.
And that is about as perfect of a placement, really, that you could even ask for in the sport of baseball. That is right in shallow right near the first base line. Really nothing in that, wouldn't say Bermuda Triangle, but if you're accounting for the first base foul line, I guess it is a triangle, but right in that little area. Perfect placement and easy bases for the Rebels.
Brings up Dylan Murphy out of Florida Atlantic. Dangerous hitter. Does not have enough at-bats to qualify for the league lead. or the league leaderboards, but came in tonight hitting 450 with 4 doubles through 6 games started. Line drive off the pitcher. It's going to be a single for Murphy. We'll check on the River Bandits pitcher, Proctor, as that one hit him pretty hard.
Wow, and look out. Crazy turn of events there. Crazy couple of seconds as Ford bobbles that one, allowing Magana to scramble home. And Proctor's going to, like he's biting down on his glove in a little bit of pain as he walks it out, walking a little funky.
Did not catch where that one hit him.
Believe that one hit him on his right thigh, it looked like, and he is...
My eyes had just shifted down to look at stats for Murphy, and then heard the crack and was looking up. And really only heard the ball hit him, didn't really see it. But took a pretty good ricochet. He's going to throw a couple practice pitches here to see how that leg responds. I think could be one of those situations where he might be able to make it through the rest of this inning and then it'll stiffen up on him later.
And quite the unorthodox way to get your first run of the game for Newmarket. Moments where describing it doesn't really do it justice. You kind of have to be watching the game to believe that one. Rewind a couple seconds on your YouTube stream to revisit that.
So Matt Murphy gonna look to replicate the quality of contact that Dylan Murphy just showed us.
Goalie beat from college. Matt Murphy.
First pitch, hit down the left field line. It's gonna go foul.
And that's solid contact from Murphy. A little bit early on it, but sounded really nice off the bat. Looking to get a little bit later on the pitch there. He'll send that right in play, and that'll be a solid hit.
Ground ball too short. Harriel does a nice job kind of screening in front of the play. Throw is in the dirt, but a nice pick by Delgado at first. So Murphy's going to go down 6-3, but Dylan Murphy advances to second. Harriel advances to third.
From home community. Third baseman number 4, Tyler Martin.
Tyler Martin going to get a chance with 2 men on, 2 outs. Struck out in his first at bat. Swing and a miss. At a breaking ball. Had trouble with that pitch. His first time up.
I'm just going to revisit that ground out from Murphy. That's a great play by Worth over at short. That bouncing ball, like we said, new terrain with kind of the wet, a little bit drying off now, but still wet dirt. Makes the ball run a little bit differently and bounce a little bit differently, but a good job by Worth to collect that one and fire it over to Delgado in time.
Added difficulty that Harriel, the runner, was right in front of him and kind of intentionally screening the play, it looked like.
Strategy of baseball. Doesn't happen much, but when it does, it's hard.
Yeah, when the ball's hit kind of in front of the runner at second, they can linger a little bit in the area of your eyesight just to try to mess with you. 1-2 to Martin, misses outside. Good pitch by Proctor, trying to get the chase just off the plate with a fastball. Two, well outside and in the dirt.
A fantastic chance for Martin. Kind of had not the greatest season so far for Newmarket. Looking to, great opportunity to throw something on your highlight reel, and
did have a hit on Wednesday night. And excellent job taking 4 balls in a row. He's going to earn the free pass, which will give Zach Banks a chance with the bases loaded.
And a fantastic eye from Tyler Martin there. I believe that is his first walk of the season. I don't see any stats for him getting on base via ball 4, but
Proctor's doing a little bit of stretching, working out that leg. I think he's still feeling that line drive a little bit. Finds the zone with the first pitch to Banks. Action in both bullpens. Nice breaking ball, swung on and missed. Proctor once again ahead, 0-2.
and that's a big-time breaking ball from Proctor, getting ahead. Big-time driver's seat in this count with 2 gone, looking to strand all bases.
That one stays just up. Similar pitch, but a little bit higher in the zone. Got to be tempting for the
Yeah,
hitter.
that's a good eye from Banks there.
Didn't have a whole lot of velocity on it, but lots of movement. Banks just gets a piece of that to stay alive.
Looked a little bit outside to me. Very fortunate that Zach Banks was able to get some contact on that one.
Doesn't look like Proctor is coming in with too elite of velocity, but the movement has been really messing with these left-handed Rebel hitters. Spikes that one out in front of the plate. Nice job by Harriger to block it up. 2-2. Looks like the pitcher in the Bandits bullpen is ready, and I'm sure Peralta ready for Newmarket. 2-2 outside. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded.
Certainly would not be too surprised to see new pitchers for both sides.
Highly likely that I think both sides will have fresh pitchers in the 5th. Here is the payoff pitch to Banks with the runners in motion. Swing and a miss. And the Rebels are going to strand the bases loaded. They do score 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Woodstock errors. 3 runners left on base. We'll be back for the top half of the 5th inning. Just a moment. New Rebel pitcher, number 44, Eric Peralta, out of the University of Miami, making his Rebel Park debut. Hard-throwing righty. Clocked as high as 98 miles an hour on the mound for Miami this spring. Pulled out our radar gun. We'll see if we can get some good readings for you.
Yeah, the second we heard the name Peralta, I think there was kind of a scramble in the media booth to grab that radar gun because, man, he can throw some heat.
I think the velocity has been a little bit down in Newmarket compared to what it was at Miami, but we'll see. So far, he has not thrown a fastball, I don't think. That one swung on and missed. So a 3-pitch strikeout for Peralta to start his night.
Shortstop number 7.
The pitch was so good, so fast. Bottolato threw his bat. That thing went into the safety net, went flying. I think that was that fastball there. I think you spoke it into existence.
Radar gun showed it at 70 miles an hour. Don't think that was accurate.
Maybe not then if the radar gun's showing it at 70.
I think we're having trouble getting a good reading here.
Yeah, then again, that one was 37 on the radar gun.
One of his warm-up tosses was at 90, and it was like not a full effort pitch, so. Check swing, that was a fastball. Like probably 92 or so based on our radar gun reading. Kind of looks like he's nonchalantly throwing the fastball, and it's still coming in around 90, 91, 92.
Got a different type of gait, if you will. His deal is a little bit different than what I've ever seen. A little sidearm action.
That was a nasty breaking ball for a called strike. Tell that has a lot of movement on it. Tall right-handed pitcher. I'm 6'2", and I have to look up at Eric when I've talked to him.
The 6'5" guy.
Grounded back to Peralta at the mound. He steps and throws over to first. 2-3 for the second out of the inning. I was somewhat briefly Eric Peralta's host dad. He stayed at our house for the first 10 days or so that he was in town before we had a new baby arrive last week. Let me tell you, at his height, you don't want a twin bed, so.
No, you do not.
He was probably sleeping diagonally on the full bed that we had for him, but.
I think once you get into the 6-foot range, the twin bed is not the greatest. I have a twin bed, and I certainly battle that struggle many times.
Nice backdoor breaking ball attempt, but stays just outside for a ball. Two and 0. Fastball is outside. So Delgado ahead of Peralta, 3 balls, no strikes. That one misses outside, a 4-pitch walk after getting the first 2 batters of the inning.
Only 3 appearances for Peralta. His latest one coming on the 21st against Stanton. Just for 3 innings. 4 strikeouts as well.
Giovanni Hernandez at the plate. I think he describes that breaking ball as a slurve, kind of a curve slider combo. It's got some nice glove side action on it, meaning that it breaks towards his left side. Goes right back to it. 0-2.
Only 3 stolen bases on the season for Delgado, who's over at first right now, but yeah, he's taken a pretty large lead. Don't see that right now over at first. Last pitch we saw a pretty extreme one.
Swing and a miss. Nice inning for Peralta. Just the one base runner on the
All
walk.
right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our 5th inning.
Jonathan Mallow, the leadoff man, will be leading off for the Rebels in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Anderson and running. Rebels from the Philly State College. Second base number 2, Jonathan Mallow.
Jonathan Mallow leading off for the Rebels, new River Bandits pitcher. Number 13. I didn't have that change. Looks like
That's Marco Viteri, West Virginia Tech righty. He's been throwing some heat in these first 2 pitches. He's slinging it.
and he is rewarded with an 0-2 count on Jonathan Mallow.
Quiet night for Mallow, 2 strikeouts on both of his at-bats.
Been one of the Rebels' most prolific hitters through the first half, but struggling a bit tonight.
Mallow's really late on that pitch. We've seen 2 straight pitches where he's just been really late on it. See if he can step into this one and drive it.
Reaches for one that was just a bit outside and comes up empty. Mallow goes down swinging to start the 5th.
Something about that pitching style from Viteri had Mallow completely fooled.
Shortstop, Pensacola State College. Number 12, Maddox Land.
Maddox Land, next man up, announced as Pensacola State, but I've just got the word that he has signed his letter of intent to transfer. Trying to remember the name of the school. I want to say it's Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee.
We'll have that changed for Maddox hopefully by Sunday night.
Didn't know that they had a baseball team. I only hear Chattahoochee and country music.
I could have that wrong. I'm going off of memory, but 1-1 on land as that one misses outside. Nice backdoor breaking ball, called strike 2.
This will be Vitteri's 6th appearance in the Baseball League. Most recent one coming in an 8-1 loss against Winchester.
Good take from Land. Mario Magana on deck. He'll switch around to bat left-handed. Land also switch hitter, batting lefty against the right-handed Vitteri. Nice fastball swung on and missed. First 2 men retired by Vitteri, and here is Magana.
Yep, something is definitely deceitful about that fastball. It's fooled Mallow, and now it's fooled Land. Let's see how one of the Rebels' best hitters, Magana, will take it.
Magana, one of those batters that makes you sit up in the front of your seat because you don't want to miss it if he hits one hard.
And that pitch just fools him as well.
Big swing and a miss. Comes up empty, 0-2. Magana, one of those hitters that kind of makes you fear for the lights out in right field.
He's certainly got a great barrel on his bat, and he knows how to use it.
Hits that one hard to center, chasing the center fielder back. He makes a leaping catch on the warning track or just on the edge. Fantastic play from Chisholm out in center. Hard line drive carried over his head, but he kind of leaping dove backwards and made a tremendous catch to end the inning. L8 for Magana. 1-2-3, go the Rebels. Eric Peralta back on the mound for the top of the 6th on the other side. Jackson Harriger leading off for the River Bandits. Tall righty Peralta still on the mound. Fastball misses low.
Peralta had a solid 5th inning. Let's see if he can back it up in the 6th here.
This is high there, 2-0.
And that certainly had some break on it. Like it was going all over the place, really.
That one hits him, actually grazes his back. It's the second time tonight we've seen a River Bandit get hit on the opposite side of home plate.
Yep, generally not a great sign if you're hitting batters on the back. But really minimal damage there as you only put 1 runner on. It's basically the same as a walk.
First pitch to JT Andorowski, fouled. Pickoff throw is high. Nice leaping grab by Harriel.
Yeah, great athletic play by Harriel there. As a former first baseman myself, sometimes those pickoff throws can come at you pretty quickly.
Line drive over the second baseman's head and into right center field. Magana's going to cut it off before it gets to the wall, and strong throw in, but it is a double. All right, I thought of a trivia question for Jack, and it's one that, or anybody else up here, that there's no way for you to possibly know the answer, but you can take a guess. Played high school baseball on this field. And in my high school career, I played every position on the field except for one. What position did I not play? Most of those games taking place here at Rebel Park.
Well, here's a question. Are you a left-handed guy or a right-handed guy?
Right-handed.
All right. I think because of that pickoff throw and me recently throwing it up, I think that you did not play first base.
Good guess, good guess.
Center field is a good one. That's a good bidding from Brandon.
2-0 on Chisholm Jr. Correct answer is second base.
Second, okay, that makes sense.
Played
Usually
third, short, first, catcher, pitcher, left, right, and center. Never got into a game at second base.
Usually the shorter guys are second base, and definitely not a short guy, so reasonable. I can see that.
Ball 4 to load the bases. Peralta wasn't particularly close on that one, and the bases are loaded for Asher Bates. See if Peralta decides to reach back for a little more velocity here as he's in trouble.
And red alert, sirens. It's the, guess what? It's the top of the 6th. Guess what happened in the top of the 6th again? Front Royal. Exactly this. Bases loaded, and then an onslaught of runs for the Cardinals. Basically put the Rebels out of the game.
Rebels hoping to avoid that fate tonight.
Definitely. Tides are kind of moving that way, though, so
Peralta is
sit up in your seat.
somebody that has a good chance of working out of trouble, as good as anybody. Fouled off. Hit into right, down the line, slicing, foul ball. Foul ball would have been a double that cleared the bases, but it was inches foul.
And you see the Woodstock.
Woodstock dugout fans certainly not happy with that call. Honestly, too far out there for us to really be able to tell for sure, but well, that's one where you can only say that nobody in the park had a better view than that first base umpire, who was as close as he could be and right on the line. So 1-2 now on Bates. Peralta could really use a strikeout. It's one of those times where you could certainly reach back for that high velocity. Instead, he goes with the slurve, misses outside, 2-2.
Never heard of that before. Slurve. Interesting name for that one.
It's kind of like Brenner or Brunch. You got to throw the two, the slurve and the curve together. Goes back to it again. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but called a ball just off the plate in. Went with the slurve, started it at the left hip of Bates and broke it back towards the plate, but not quite enough. Really been relying on the breaking ball tonight.
I'd call that pretty good. I'd call that really good, Andrew. That was a
Throws it again and doesn't get the call. Bases loaded walk. RBI for Bates. Boy, he was all around the plate there, but did not get the call. Multiple competitive pitches in a row, but nice job from Bates laying off. Understanding what zone has been called tonight. Here's Austin Ford, bases still loaded. Peralta continue to pour that slurve in there.
Yeah, and that's a solid pitch to help you refresh on that at bat. That's just what the doctor ordered for Peralta.
Swing and a miss. I used to play, forget which game it was, but one of the old baseball games for Nintendo 64 where you could like build your own pitcher and you could have a pitcher throw a slurve. That's my callback. I always had a four-seam fastball, a slurve, and a screwball on my Build-A-Pitcher. Don't see screwballs anymore. One and two on Ford. Fouls it off.
Good job by Ford to stay alive in this at-bat after he takes two straight.
That one also misses for a ball. Apparently there is one active major leaguer that throws the screwball. Brent Honeywell Jr. Two upstairs for ball three. Not familiar with Brent Honeywell.
Me neither.
That's the kind of the AI overview result on Google when you look up the last screwball pitcher. Another nice slurve that stays just off the plate in for ball four. Two bases loaded walks for Peralta. Hasn't been missing by much, but he has been missing.
Yeah, and that's just the rough part of baseball. You're throwing pretty decently solid pitches that are just really, really close to that zone, but just can't find the strike zone. And you go from a 0-2 count all the way to a walk.
It's going to be a pitching change for the Rebels. We'll take a quick break and be back on the other side with a new Rebel pitcher. New Rebel pitcher is lefty MJ Paramore. First pitch to Lucas Battalato, misses inside for a ball. Rebels want to have any chance of staying in this one. They're going to need Paramore to work a bit of a miracle here. Bases loaded, nobody out, 2 runs already in. Foul tip off of Murphy, the catcher. Home plate umpire going to give him a chance to recover.
Yeah, you talk about getting thrown into a fire, Andrew. Paramore's getting thrown into a forest fire, one of those forest fires you see in California. I mean, it's just incredible. This situation is nobody gone, full bases. Here's the baseball. Good luck.
Check swing. Dead ball. Runners being sent back, I believe, saying that the pitch hit the batter, but that he swung. I think that's what's happening.
Well, the River Bandits lead the Valley Baseball League in getting hit by pitches. They're not going to add to their total there, but
The second time this season we've seen a hit by pitch nullified by the fact that the batter swung at it. It's a fairly rare occurrence.
yeah, that definitely is a rare occurrence. We usually don't see that.
So Paramore ahead 1-2. Strikeout would definitely help his cause. Ooh, threw a nice curve. Didn't get the call. Those close pitches not going the Rebels' way here in the 6th. May have dropped a little bit low, but certainly a nice pitch. 2-2 fastball grounded back to Paramore. He's going to go home for 1. Murphy's going to fire it to Harriel. That is a 1-2-3 double play.
And our PA announcer Jared playing the ESPN jingle. That's a pretty good play right there. Might not make the
Just
ESPN
what the-
top 10, but certainly a good play there, timely for the Rebels.
Just what the doctor ordered for
Exactly.
MJ Paramore. That one hits Worth, grazes the pants leg. If you're going to get hit, that's how you want to get hit. Doubt he even felt that one. The catcher even managed to catch it. So that'll load the bases again for Abdriel Delgado. Perhaps not the worst result for the Rebels. Gives you a lefty-lefty matchup, and now you have a force out anywhere on the infield. Just takes away your ability to hit or walk anybody else without damage being done.
Yep, this is about as good of a situation as you can ask for. Get rid of the lefty-righty matchup and make it to a wacky lefty battle.
2-0 now. Paramore doesn't have anywhere to put Delgado. Bases loaded. I think walks and a bit of wildness from pitchers is really the overall theme of the Valley this season, and is the continuation of a trend as more experienced pitchers not getting sent to summer leagues and more summer leagues being in existence spreads the pitching talent thinner as well. So kind of a double whammy. If you compared stats on walks to 20 years ago, I think you would find a drastic difference. 3-0 till Delgado. Paramore's got to have a strike. And he gets one. Goes to the rosin bag, wants to make sure he has a good grip here. Could do Peralta a big favor if he strands the bases loaded.
That would be a huge favor.
Oh, that fastball misses just high. Another run walked in by Rebels pitchers. That's where filling up the empty base at first costs you. That one almost hits Giovanni Hernandez. Getting some calls from his own dugout. Not sure if that was a why didn't you wear it situation or a nice dodge situation.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Breaking ball called strike. That one had some nice zip on it.
And that's how you respond to a rough pitch. Throw a nice breaking pitch right in there for a first strike, even 1-1 count now.
Almost seems like he might be more comfortable throwing that pitch for a strike than his fastball. Goes right back to the breaking ball. This time gets a swing and a miss.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep throwing that breaking pitch.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a third one right here. Goes to the fastball, ground ball to land at short. He's got it. Wanted to go to second. Instead, throws across to first. Just in time, 6-3 is the putout. River Bandits score 3. Could have been much worse if you're a Rebel fan. After 5.5, it's River Bandits 7, Rebels 1. Joe Terranova going to lead it off on the other side of this break. Joe Terranova leading off. Marco Viteri still on the mound. Jack, did you get fed some info on Viteri? I think you had something on him.
I do. Viteri this season against Newmarket, he's been pretty solid. 4.1 innings pitched with 7 strikeouts. He's given up no hits and no runs. Solid stat.
Hard to do much better than that.
Really can't do much better than that, honestly.
Ripped into left by Terranova, down for extra bases. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Should be a double. Stand-up double for Terranova to lead off the 6th for Newmarket, looking to fight back as they're trailing by 6.
Well, we spoke that first hit into existence, didn't we? That one laid right in left field, solid contact. And the Rebels are up and running here in the bottom of the 6th.
21, Ariel.
Jaden Harrell, next man up for the Rebels. He's been hitting the ball hard as of late. Chance to drive in a run if he can find some green grass here.
Have a quick mound conference here.
Another one of these ones with the umpire tagging along probably means they're checking signs or got crossed up on signs.
Ariel 0 for 2 on the night tonight, but he's got 15 RBIs on the season. He's got a great chance to add one more with Terranova waiting on second after that solid hit.
They've got things sorted out, and Harriel ready for the pitch from Viteri. Perhaps the broadcaster drinks in effect there right after saying he hadn't allowed any hits to the Rebels. Terranova squared him up. Check on the runner at second. Breaking ball called, strike. Ariel steps out to gather himself. Don't think he particularly liked that call.
It's part of baseball. You don't get a call to go your way. If just got to refocus and drive it.
Fights off that outside pitch and fouls it over the visiting grandstand. Just outside for ball one.
Mighty close on that check swing.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Harriel. Terranova out at second. Check swing, ball in the dirt. Terranova took a couple steps towards third, but wisely stays put.
You can tell Terranova wanted to take off for third there.
Two is upstairs, head height, easy take for Harriel, full count.
Great job by Harriel to stay consistent in this at-bat with a good eye watching these pitches.
Called strike 3. Must have caught the low outside edge, and Harriel goes down looking. Bring up Dylan Murphy, Rebel catcher.
Catcher for Florida Atlantic University. For Dylan Murphy.
Murphy fouls the first one off. Took a funky hop off the kind of the lip just to the right of first base. Breaking ball in the dirt. Matt Murphy waiting on deck. Dylan Murphy in batter's box. No action in the Newmarket bullpen, so MJ Paramore likely back on the mound in the 7th. There is some action in the Woodstock bullpen. Swing and a miss. High heater.
A little bit surprised to see movement in the bullpen of Woodstock. Terry's been playing really well these past few innings.
Swing and a miss. Murphy goes down swinging. Matt Murphy gonna get a chance now.
Gonna bring up the designated hitter from Foley Beach College. For 28, Matt Murphy.
See if he can pick up his fellow Murph. Fouled straight back into the kind of gravel lot that's fenced off behind home plate we were talking about earlier. We used to have a contest on the broadcast between the broadcasters and rest of the press box on what would get hit back there. There was a bunch of different cars and a boat and different things. So we had a little prediction game that we always did as part of the pregame show. We were audio only in those days.
That was way back when then.
It was really way back because it wasn't even an internet broadcast. It was like a Murphy hits that one into right field shallow. F9 to end the Newmarket half of the 6th. Jackson Harriger going to lead it off for the River Bandits on the other side. Jackson Harriger, the catcher, leading off for the River Bandits. MJ Paramore still on the mound for Newmarket. River Bandits holding on to a 6-run lead. Another fastball up.
He's really maneuvering that fastball, but he just can't find the zone with it. He just focuses up here and finds that zone. It's going to be trouble for the River Bandits.
See if he goes back to the breaking ball that he was getting into the zone more last inning. As it's another fastball that misses 3-0. All three have been the cheddar. Called
Not
straight.
at that time.
Ball 4 for Harriger.
Number 2.
And Orosky now for the River Bandits.
That one up and in for a ball.
Andorowski has seen some contact tonight. He had that bunt that he was trying to get to base on that one to make it into a hit, but he was thrown out, and he also was walked in that 6th inning. And saw every single Woodstock player step into the batter's box.
6 fastballs, 6 balls for Paramore. There he goes to the off speed and finds the zone.
I mean, it's unbelievable. The breaking pitch can't seem to miss, but the fastball can't seem to find the zone.
It's got to be a mechanical thing that he's like not getting on top of the fastball or something. Ground ball to Mallow at second, softly hit. He's going to have to go to Harriel at first, and they get Andorowski for the first out. Harriger does advance to second on the play.
And that's Andorowski's second 4-3 play on the night. And didn't really look like he got all the way around on that swing, kind of almost like check swing. Hit it in a way, but it's a 4-3 and 1 gone here. Bottom of the, top of the 7th.
Goes back to the breaking ball. Looks like he had a footing issue there, maybe. That's a ball. They did do more than an hour of work on the pitcher's mound before this game. You can see the quick dry spread out on the mound pretty clearly. Gets on top of that fastball and into the zone.
Yeah, Andrew, that mound was in pretty bad shape. I got here a couple hours before first pitch, and I was looking at it as they were doing some almost open heart surgery on it. I looked at it, I said, ooh, we might not play today, but then they got that quick dry out, and props to them for fixing it up like that. Very, very nice job.
Fortunate that Rebel Park does dry out fairly well, recovers quickly. We do have the full-size tarp that covers the entire infield. Don't deploy it too often, but ball 3. Fouled back. Full count on Chisholm. Had a highlight reel catch out in center field earlier. And he draws the walk here.
Another one where that fastball just misses. That time Chisholm had to scoot out of the batter's box almost entirely. Now
That
2
one
on.
was a horizontal miss. A lot of the misses have been vertical up. Asher Bates, next man for the River Bandits. Paramore would love a ground ball in the infield. A fastball bounced in there, gets away from Murphy. Wild pitch is going to take away the conventional double play opportunity. One and 0. There is action in the Rebel bullpen.
Bates has reached home base 3 times tonight. That's the most for any player.
Jackson Jones up in the Rebel bullpen. Jack Turner up in the River Bandits bullpen. Paramore struggling to find the control here. He was missing high, now he's missing low. Bounced a couple in a row.
And he keeps trying to control that fastball. I mean, if I'm in his shoes, I'm just abandoning it at this point because you cannot find the zone. Misses there again.
Now, a lot of times on Major League broadcasts, they'll talk about what pitch the pitcher kind of works off of. It seems like Paramore maybe should be working off of the breaking ball to get ahead in the count and then try to mix in a fastball once he's ahead and see if he can get the chase.
You know, when you have a little bit more wiggle room in the count, but not there as he walks.
There's a 4-pitch walk. Bases loaded once again for the River Bandits, and we're going to get a pitching change. We'll be back with a fresh Rebel pitcher on the other side. Austin Ford The River Bandits batter against number 30, Jackson Jones, out of Louisiana Tech. Foul tip.
Now pitching for the Rebels from Louisiana Tech. Number 30, Jackson Jones.
Jackson, another young Rebel pitcher that has a lot of talent, but has struggled to find the zone at times. Kind of gone back and forth between a couple stellar outings and a couple where he just couldn't throw strikes. Hopefully tonight is a strike throwing night for Jackson.
You could tell Jones was a little bit frustrated after sending that breaking pitch just a tad high. Kind of spun around a little bit in frustration.
1-1, bases loaded. Low, 2-1. River Bandits currently with a 6-run lead. Got to always keep in mind as things get a little skewed on the scoreboard. 10 runs after 7 is a run rule victory in the Valley League. Low for a ball. That rule was added as part of the battle against the lack of pitchers we were talking about earlier across the league. Rebels fortunate to have a large pitching contingent, but not always the case. Swing and a miss, nice fastball from Jones.
Yeah, that's a solid pitch from Jones right there, finding that outer third.
My sheet is up to date, which it might be off by 1. Rebels with 17 active pitchers for tonight's game. Nice full count fastball from Jones. He gets the strikeout of Austin Ford. Second out of the inning, Lucas Battalato, next man up for the River Bandits.
And what a timely play. Timely pitch from Jackson Jones. With the bases fully yammed. Gets that second out. Big time at bat. Big time strikeout.
Goes right back to the fastball, gets a big swing and a miss from Battalato. So Jones ahead in the count, 0-1. Feel like 6-run lead is kind of that cutoff where you feel like you still have a chance to come back. 7 starts to feel a little more intimidating.
Newmarket certainly dancing on that line between kind of out of reach and not. So certainly a big inning here.
Rebels did blow a 6-run lead on Wednesday night, so they know it's possible. You just got to reverse it around and do it yourself.
I like the motto for Valley Baseball League Gateway to the Majors, but they should maybe make a second one that's anything can happen, because we've seen a lot of wacky stuff. Newmarket, I've seen a lot of wacky stuff on opposing teams' streams. Seen a lot of crazy stuff in this league.
Nice curve, fouled at the plate. It's one of the magical things about baseball. You can go to a game, 100 games a year, and in year 50 you might see something you've never seen before. Lots of statistical oddities or just funky things that can happen with a bat and a ball that don't happen in other sports. Fastball check swing, ball 2. Another fastball just misses. Jones thought he had him as he took a step towards the dugout and shook his head when he had to retreat to the pitching rubber. goes back to the curve, gets the called strike 3. Jackson Jones works out of the jam that he inherited. No runs, no hits, no errors. The River Bandits strand 3. Tyler Martin gonna lead it off for the Rebels. The bottom half of the 7th. First pitch to Tyler Martin. It's a hard foul ball down the first base line. Once again, taking aim at his dad down there in the first base coach's box. It's big swing and a miss. 0-2. Viteri still on the mound for the River Bandits.
Yeah, and Martin goes from early on that one to late on the breaking pitch.
Takes that one outside, 1-2. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Strikeout swinging to start the Rebels half of the 7th.
Left over from Amarillo, number 9.
Crowd thinned considerably on the Rebels side. I think River Bandits fans may outnumber Rebels fans, at least as far as the stands go. That does not include the large contingent out in left field. Somewhat large, that's dwindling as well. Zach Banks takes a ball, 1-1. Jonathan Mallow on deck. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Banks lays off a breaking ball down and in, 2-2. You all right, Jack?
Yeah, just had to sneeze. Something in the Newmarket air.
Sticky, humid night in Newmarket.
Cooled off a little bit when the sun went down, but when I got here, man, it was really humid. I was sweating through my shirt, and I looked at our producer Brandon, and I was like, "Wow, it is really humid out here."
Zach Banks works a 1-out walk. And shout out to Brandon Whitaker, behind the controls tonight. He's been hitting you with all kinds of fresh graphics. Gives you the camera switch there.
Gotta bring up the second baseman from Public State. Jonathan Mallow.
We were talking tonight. You're going to get a chance to hear a little bit more from Brandon coming up in our next couple games. We're going to do an intern spotlight inning, I think, moving forward. So
That'll be a blast. Can't wait.
we'll see what they cook up to talk about during their inning of work together moving forward. First pitch to Jonathan Mallow is a ball. Fouls that one back into the screen. Rebels are a volunteer-led and run organization, very few paid positions, so we rely on a large staff of volunteers and interns, typically mostly from James Madison University, but mixing it up this year, Jack from Virginia Tech, Brandon from Radford. Both schools several hours south down Interstate 81. Strangely, don't think I've ever been to the campus of either school, but I've driven past the exits for both.
Really?
Mallow chases a 1-2. He is called out. Banks tries to advance. He is safe. Rough night at the plate for Jonathan Mallow.
Yeah, I was just about to say before that he's 3 straight strikeouts. Really gutsy move by Herringer to fire that down to second. I was not expecting that. I was expecting him to take the simple throw to Delgado at first for an easy out.
A strong throw, close play. Banks has good speed. Maddox Land up, batting lefty this time again. Fouls the first pitch off. The Banks advancement on the wild pitch. Mario Magana waiting on deck. Rebels would love to get him a chance with runners on base. Fouled back. Land down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hard hit ground ball to first. Fielded by Delgado. He'll go to the bag by himself. 3 unassisted. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. Connor Worth leading off for the River Bandits in the top half of the 8th inning on the other side. Connor Worth leads off for the River Bandits. Jackson Jones still on the mound for the Rebels. He can stay out of trouble. Wouldn't be surprised to see him finish this one off.
Yeah, really excited to see how Jackson Jones can continue his performance into the 8th inning. He had 2 straight at the end of the 7th. That one being a swinging strikeout on Ford and then a looking one on Bottolato.
Rebels are scheduled to play tomorrow night in Strasburg and back here on Sunday night, so need to keep some pitchers available for those two. There is a high likelihood tomorrow's game could be rained out with storms in the area throughout the day. Swing a nasty curveball. 1-2. So we'll keep an eye on that, and you can keep an eye on Rebel social media. We'll do our best to keep you updated should that game be postponed. Lots of events going on for Parents Weekend. I think tomorrow there's a trip to Endless Cavern scheduled for parents that are visiting. Swing and a miss, ball in the dirt. Murphy's going to have to throw it over to Harriel.
Solid start for Jones there. Harriel was off the bag when he caught it, had to make a quick adjustment and step on it.
Abdriel Delgado, next man up. Can hear the foul ball chasers yelling, "Ooh, lefty, lefty." They're shifting their position.
Certainly want the ballpark to know it's a lefty.
Well, as a veteran of many foul ball chases, you gotta change your positioning for lefty versus righty for sure. A lot more opportunities for foul balls with left-handed hitters, as pretty much anything will be retrievable. Right-handed oftentimes end up on private property behind well-secured yards with chain link fences. Jones misses for the 3rd time in a row, 3-0 on Delgado. Finds the zone, called strike.
Yeah, that one was right down Main Street. Great pitch there from Jones after giving up 3 straight.
Check swing, no swing, says third base umpire. Base on balls for Delgado.
That's 3 straight walks for Delgado. He had 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and now this one in the 8th.
Called swing at the plate on a check swing. Oh, and 1 misses outside. Still pretty flat in the ballpark, which has been the mood as of late.
Very quiet.
Curve called strike. You know what might break that mood? 7-run rally.
I think
That would get the fans back
I think
into
that
it.
would be perfect.
One, two to Hernandez. Curve. Hernandez lays off. He looked like he wanted it, but lets it go for ball 2.
When one player is only accounting for 30% of your walks on the night, that's how you know it's been a rough evening for the pitchers.
Fastball fouled into one of those yards we were just talking about. Doesn't stop a herd of children from running across to look for it, but
Good to see the effort.
I think that one's well out of play for them. Foul ball. Comment in the chat, we're allergic to river bandits. I would say real life, yep, it's best to avoid bandits on the river. Called strike 3 for Jones. Nice backdoor breaking ball.
Catcher number 19. Action.
The Shenandoah River runs from Newmarket to Woodstock, which I'd imagine has to be the origin of river bandits. Does not run deep enough for real boats, so oh, we got the rally caps
do
going
have some-
in the press box. See if I can get in on that action. That one's hit into center. Magana charges and makes a little hop to reel it in. Scoreless inning for Jackson Jones. Mario Magana is going to lead it off for the Rebels in the bottom half of the 8th, looking to mount a 6-run or more rally to get back in this one.
Number 13. Mario.
Welcome back to Newmarket, Virginia. We're going to change it up here. I'm going to take the play-by-play role, maybe to change the tides a little bit for the Rebels here as they're down 7-1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Got to change something up. We got the
I
rally
know.
caps on all the way across the row here.
First time I've flipped my cap inside out. And here's Magana. First pitch here. That one's called strike. Magana 0 for 2 on the evening.
Jack Turner took over on the mound for the River Bandits, going from number 13 to number 12.
That one's fouled off into the safety net. Going right to us, just a little bit high. Did notice that looked like a different build on the mound for the River Bandits. Was going to try to do a little bit of improving there to figure out that name, but it's Jack Turner.
I get the name real quick, but then the school is up to you.
That one's fouled back.
Doing the live stats while calling the game, so that is beneficial sometimes, but also limits you in some ways as far as what information you can see at any given time.
The 6'5" righty, Jack Turner, digs in here with an 0-2 count. Here's the offering, down in the dirt.
Announced between innings, it's Coach Shepard's 60th birthday today. Cake down in the pavilion following the game.
Love to see it. The 1-2, outside. Even count. Good eye from Magana to lay off of that pitch. Seen a lot of Rebels players chasing some outside pitches, some high pitches, even some low pitches.
Magana's an extremely aggressive hitter too. Doesn't take a lot of walks, knows he can hit it hard and likes to go after it.
Even count pitch fouled off. There's a little info on Jack Turner in 2026 for the Cougars of Averett. He appeared in 12 games, pitching 24 innings. He struck out 23 batters. That's a pretty solid stat for him. Here's the 2-2. That's fouled off yet again in a similar spot.
Good at bat from Magana, fighting to stay alive.
Definitely a good at bat. This is kind of what the Rebels needed. Long at bat, maybe awaken the bats, if you will. Here's the 2-2. That one's fouled off. Looked like it was going to stay fair. Bouncing ball down the first base line. Taken care of by Delgado, but
5th foul ball of the at bat.
Props to Magana for staying alive and finding his pitch. That's a day one lesson in baseball. Find your pitch. If you don't like it, foul it off. Yet again, the 2-2. Big swing and a miss there for a forward K. That's a solid start for Turner. And down goes Magana.
Not what the Rebels were looking for to get a rally started.
5, go, Nova.
Terranova steps in now. 1 for 3 on the night.
Ripped a double down the left field line.
He watches that first pitch low for the first ball. It's all rally caps in the media booth. All 4 of us. Scorekeeper, producer, color, and play-by-play. We all have those caps on inside out. The 1-0, spoiled off.
We also have the honor of being joined by the former Valley League Commissioner, R.W. Porky Bowman.
Love it.
Retired after last season.
I'm taken over by Rick Furr. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss on an upstairs pitch by Terranova. And Andrew, what's the science behind that after you go chasing on an upstairs pitch? How do you refocus? What did you used to do when you played baseball back in the day?
I didn't get to hit a lot, Jack, I'll be honest, but I think anytime that you swing at something you know is bad, if you can, just step out, take a deep breath, get back in there, refocus.
The 1-2 is spoiled off there. Goes
Aye.
flying into the aforementioned neighborhood houses.
As my small baseball career went on, I shifted towards being a pitcher only, did not hit a lot my final 2 years of high school.
1-2 in the dirt. So can we get a little sneak peek into your arsenal? I think we talked about this a couple of broadcasts earlier in the year.
Fastball, curveball, changeup. I think changeup was my best pitch.
Well, that's the big three right there.
Circle change.
The 2-2 to Terranova. That one's fouled off yet again. Should have kept that counter going for the foul balls. We've seen a lot between Terranova and Magana.
That was 7 total between the two batters to start the inning.
That's incredible. Here's the offering. Terranova looked like he wanted to go on that one, but a good eye opens the door for a full count.
Rebels trailing by 6, need a bunch of base runners if they want
They do.
fall back into this game with 5 outs to go.
Terranova digs in. Here's the payoff. Big swing and a miss. That's 2 straight swinging strikeouts for Turner. Solid start for him. Looking to go 1, 2, 3 and shut down the Rebels here in the bottom of the 8th.
One, begin, Ariel.
Ariel now also 1 for 3. Deal from Turner, outside. The 1-0. Inside, had to jump out of the way. Draws the 2-0 pitch. Ariel steps in, adjusts his batting helmet. The 2-0. That one's knocked a solid hit to center. Chisholm Jr. is under it and gloves it for the 3rd out. That'll conclude this 8th frame. We'll be right back for the top of the 9th. Back now in New Market. Jackson Jones took some warm-up pitches behind Barracuda, classic by heart. He'll now face Androsky. 1 for 3 on the night. Here's the empty count pitch. Big swing and a miss.
Hitting for Woodstock.
Almost looked like there was some hesitation in that swing, especially in the back half. The 0-1 gets past the catcher Murphy.
Did just catch that it's a pinch hitter, Yuma Koda.
It is Yuma Koda. Jones kicks to Koda down in the dirt. Second straight ball. Oh, around, says the first base umpire. It was a check swing.
Looked like he went from my vantage
Just
point.
a little bit. Here's the 1-2, looking to close him out. Big swing and a miss, and that's just what the doctor ordered for the Rebels. That's a good, solid start by Jones to the top of the ninth.
Jackson certainly a positive that the Rebels can take away from this one.
He's certainly been very solid for the Rebels tonight on a night where not much has been solid. Let's just say that. The empty count. Taken for strike one. That's Chisholm Jr. He had a nice play in center to close out the Rebels in the bottom of the eighth. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch called strike two. Called Jones, Picasso, or Da Vinci because he's painting that corner. Here's the 0-2 quickly. Taken outside, trying to hit that upper third. The 1-2 to Chisholm. Inside and low. So he goes from out and up to in and low for 2 straight balls, and now we have an even count. The even count. Breaking pitch misses outside. So Andrew, if you're Coach Shepard, what's your message to New Market after this game ends? Obviously, we can't put a bow on it just yet because you can never count out a team, but what's the overall feeling if you're the coach?
I think you got to find something that you can say that's going to light a spark. It's a little easier for the coaches in the thick of it to maybe know what that is to say, but you got to get something to get the momentum shifted.
I'll tell you what won't shift the momentum, a walk after you go up 0-2 in the count. That just took place there with Jones walking Chisholm.
Maybe for tonight they'll start with some birthday cake as a little uplifting moment.
Here's the empty count deal. Taken, wow, just inside, barely, right on that corner. And that was Chisholm's 4th walk of the night. He's certainly been on base. The deal to Bates, runners free. Here comes the throw down from Murphy. Not in time. And it'll be a successful steal for Chisholm.
Close play at second. Mallow thought he had him.
Certainly a close steal, or close play. I believe that is Chisholm's 7th steal of the season. It comes at a good time for the River Bandits, looking to tack on more and put the Rebels away here in the top of the ninth. Here's the 2-0. Another really close one. Murphy just kind of holding his glove there to try to show the home plate umpire how good the pitch was, but no. And now Jones looking to avoid a 4-pitch walk.
Looking at some league stats earlier today.
Runners free, 3-0. The throw down from Murphy, and he got him. Chisholm can't believe it, and he'll have to cruise on back to the dugout after an aggressive steal attempt And a good gun down from Murphy there.
Almost had him at second, tried his luck again, nailed him at third. Strong throws for Murphy in both cases.
Two away now. Chisholm pushed his luck, and Murphy made him pay for it.
League leader in stolen bases, Shin Inouye, 23 already.
Check swing on the 3-1. No, says the first base umpire. And it'll be a free 90 for Bates.
More than a steal a game for Inouye, who plays for the Purcellville Cannons. Second summer, I believe, in Purcellville, but skipped a year, played in the Cape Cod League last year.
There are certainly some speedsters in this league, and that was just the 12th walk of the night for Newmarket. Here's the deal to Ford. The swinging strike there. The 0-1. Ford will watch that one. It's called a ball. Even 1-1 now with 2 gone. Top of the 9th, 7-1. River Bandits over Rebels our score. The 1-1. Breaking pitch there. Bends in nicely for a called strike. Jones in the driver's seat now with 2 gone. The 1-2 to Ford. Slides out of the way of that one. Another low pitch from Jones.
2-2-2 on the scoreboard.
See a trio of 2s. The 2-2. Fouled off. 2 RBIs on the night for Ford. 2 hits as well. We try again on the 2-2. Scooting out of the way is Ford for a payoff pitch. Wouldn't be surprised to see Bates take off for second here with a full count with 2 gone. Ariel isn't even holding him. There he goes, the breaking pitch. Called ball 4, free 90. Yet again, the 14th walk of the night. And that will kickstart a mound conference. Comes pitching coach Mark Davis. See if we see that bullpen door swing open here. Do not think we will see a pitching change here. They're going to leave Jones out there to close this one out.
No action in the bullpen. I think it would take a lot of damage for the Rebels to get another pitcher into this one.
And when you're 1 out away, it's kind of quitting time at that point, especially when you're down by 6. Jones steps back onto the stretch. Here's the empty count with 2 on. Outside and high. The 1-0. That one gets past and runners will advance. And that's 2 more WPs on your score sheet for those keeping score at home. And you've got to think, if you have to pick a silver lining, it's definitely Jackson Jones. Deals that 2-0, twisting out of the way is Bottolato, and it will be 3 straight.
If there is anybody scoring at home, let us know in the chat. That'd be an interesting factoid to know.
A 3-0 outside for a 4-pitch walk.
Number 6.
Connor Worth now stepping in. Here's the empty count. That one breaks in for a called strike. Well, it's a rainy day in Newmarket, and it's a rainy day for the Rebels, as they can't get the ball rolling much at all. There's a swinging strike there.
0-2 count.
Yes, it is an 0-2 count. I was questioning the scoreboard there. I thought
Yeah, I was definitely saying that loudly for the benefit of the scoreboard, not for you.
and that's a solid pitch right there for a swinging strikeout. We'll be right back as the Rebels try to get 6 to tie this one up. We'll be right back. Market Dylan Murphy stepping up. Quick little conference here with the new Woodstock pitcher, Neil Kroom III.
Fun fact, if the first 6 runners reach for the Rebels, Mario Magana would be the winning run.
Well, he certainly has had no flair for the melodramatic, if you know what I mean. He walked off the Royals. Certainly has a flair for the melodramatic, might I say. As the empty count pitch, that's a big windup for Neil Kroom. He's pretty solid this year in the Valley Baseball League. 6.57 ERA on 12 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts. That's a solid stat, especially when ERAs can get inflated. The 1-0 is outside for a second called ball. 2-0. Big swinging strike from Dylan Murphy. And he takes a step out to recollect after that one. The 2-1. Murphy watches that one go outside. Dylan Murphy 1 for 2 tonight. The 3-1. That'll be a easy 90. I wouldn't say easy. There's no easy in baseball, but a free 90.
It's as easy as they come. Three,
Exactly.
not particularly close on ball 4.
Wasn't really challenged that much, that at bat.
Number 28. Matt Murphy.
Well, that's a crucial first step for the Rebels. In steps Matt Murphy. Here's the pitch to him. That one's fouled off. Looked like it bounced off the mask of Herringer, the catcher. Quick little mound conference yet again, and the umpire will join them. Few last words. That's a couple more seconds to this mound conference. Maybe Herringer telling Kroom a little something that he saw about Murphy's swing. You can never speculate on what's going on in those conferences. Pickoff attempt. Not in time. Murphy was ready for it. The 0-1 from Kroom. That one's swung on. Solid contact. It will be flipped over to second and to first for 2 outs. And the River Bandits are 1 away from closing this one out. Nice little double play.
That one would fall into the tailor-made category, right to the shortstop.
That's a 6-4-3.
Third baseman from Holmes Community College. For Tyler Martin.
Tyler Martin will look to do some damage here, and Kroom will look to close it out. The deal from Kroom. Way high. Martin had to jump out of the way of that one. So the pending result of this game would cause Newmarket to drop to 11-10, falling from that nice 5-0 start that they had. The 1-0 is inside. And a win for Woodstock would allow them to advance to 7-14. The 2-0. Big swing and a miss on a very high pitch. Gonna jam Martin inside and high. Not much he could do there. The 2-1. Another swing and a miss on a similar placement. And it goes from a 2-0 count for Martin to a 2-2 count for Martin. Kroom can taste it. He's 1 strike away from closing this one out. 7-1 our score. River Bandits over Rebels. The even count delivery. Martin holds back on that one and is given the grace from the home plate umpire for a full count. The 3-2. Spoiled off by Martin. Well, you look at this game for the Woodstock River Bandits, you use 4 pitchers. It's a solid grind of a win. The 3-2 side, that'll be a 390 yards. Well, if Murphy had found a way to get that ball past the shortstop Worth, the bases would be full of Rebels with nobody gone. That just shows you the difference one swing of the bat can make. Room on Banks. Erringer holds it there, but no, says the home plate umpire for the first ball. The 1-0. Taken for strike one, right down the middle. When your 9 spot only has 3 at-bats in the bottom of the 9th, you know that the defense has put down your team pretty well.
Yeah, only 4 hits for the Rebels tonight.
Very quiet night. That one's going to be spoiled off.
Down to their final strike once again.
Just about to say, Kroom 1 away. The Embry-Riddle Eagle steps in. The 1-2. Mighty close there. But it will be an even count. Kroom thought he had him. Good eye from Banks there. Digs in, wiggles the bat by his left ear. Here's the deal from Kroom. That one swung on. Solid contact, goes fair. Rounding for third is Martin, and he will be there safe, and it is a stand-up double for Zach Banks. So hold everything here. We've got 2 runners in scoring position for the Rebels, with the top of the order coming back up.
Baseman from Potomac State, number 2, Jonathan Mallow.
Mallow steps in. He's had 4 strikeouts. A very quiet night for him. And he lines that one. And under it is Bottolato. He'll glove that one. It's a first pitch swing and a first pitch out. That'll conclude this one here in Newmarket. The Woodstock River Bandits take care of the Newmarket Rebels 7-1. Newmarket will fall to 11-10, and Woodstock will jump up to 7-14. Any final thoughts on that one, Andrew?
Well, another discouraging night for the Rebels, but they'll look to turn it around tomorrow against the Strasburg Express, weather permitting.
Weather definitely permitting there.
Not much else to say from Newmarket tonight. Rebels fall 7-1 to the Woodstock River Bandits. We hope you'll join us on Sunday night for some more Rebel baseball here from Newmarket, Virginia. Once again, I'm Andrew Kipps. He's Jack Hurlbert, Brandon Whitaker behind the controls. Have a good rest of your evening.